everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we will be talking about one of the most asked questions related to the UPSC Civil Services Examinations, which is, who is more powerful? Is it IAS or is it an IPS officer? So first of all, let's start off by, giving out the full forms of both these services that we have. IAS stands for Indian Administrative Services, whereas IPS stands for Indian Police Service. So now that we've got the full form sorted out, let's dig more into their responsibilities and also in the differences that these both services have. So first of all, let me tell you that both of these services are all India services, and honestly speaking, they don't really tussle for any power or position because both are extremely important and of crucial importance in the Indian government. So now, let's talk about the origin and the existence of these both services. So these services are there even before India got independence. The only difference was that at that particular point of time, when it was dominated by most of the Europeans, it was called as imperial services, and the police service as the imperial police service. That's the only difference that they have. But after we got independence, it was converted into the full forms that I told you at the beginning of the video. So now let's talk about one of the most interesting elements, which is the salary. I'm pretty sure a lot of you must always be wondering how much an IAS officer earns, or maybe how much an IPS officer earns. So according to the 7th Pay Commission, we understand that whereas an IPS officer gets around 56,000 to 2,25,000 per month, whereas an IAS officer gets around 56,000 to 2,50,000. So there's not much difference, but we understand from the guidelines that are issued by the 7th Pay Commission that an IAS officer earns a little more. Now let's talk about the Cadre Controlling Authority. So what is this about? So the Cadre Controlling Authority basically takes care of the postings of these officers. So now the Cadre Controlling Authority for IAS officers is the Ministry of Personnel, which directly comes under the Prime Minister. So all the postings and all their everyday affairs is overlooked by this particular authority. If we talk about the Cadre Controlling Authority of the IPS officers, this is basically comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is again under the Union of Home Minister. So that's one major difference that we have. And of course, not to forget the dress codes of both the services. So IAS officers do not really have any particular dress code. They just have to wear formals at some events where they might just be, conducting. But whereas IPS officers are expected and it's mandatory for them to always be in the issued uniform that they have. So there is a major difference when it comes to the dress code because IPS officers do have a uniform, whereas IAS officers do not have. Now let's also talk about and think about the kind of training that these both services have. So first of all, when UPSC selects the candidates after prelims, mains and interview, after they're selected to become the particular service that they want to go in, all the services have this foundation course which basically is of 3 months at Labasna, which is Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy for Administration. So after the completion of the 3 months, the IAS officers continue their training over there only, whereas the IPS officers go to this institute, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Police Academy in Hyderabad. So they continue the training over there, whereas IAS officers continue in Labasna only. So this is again one major difference when it comes to the trainings, because of course, even though these services come under one big umbrella called the UPSC, they have different roles to carry out. In the end, I would just like to say that it does not matter what is more powerful, which power is of more importance, but I personally feel what matters at the end is that what are you passionate about? How are you passionate towards serving the country? That one cause and why in your mind is more important than any other power. So the question is basically ambiguous in its own way, I would like to say. I would like to give a huge thumbs up to all the aspirants who are working towards their goals, and wish them all the best for the futures to come. Thank you so much.